Yo, what is up, YouTube? Today we are going to be talking about NBA The Run. I did get a chance to play the playtest from 12 to 3 p.m. on Friday afternoon, which was kind of crazy that they only let us play for 3 hours. But I did get my hands on it and I got to play it. I wanted to leave some of my thoughts into a video because I've been seeing a lot of people like dog this game, and I don't think necessarily this game deserves to be dog. It's actually a pretty fun game. It's definitely arcadey. It's not like a 2K or like a Madden simulation type of game, but it's still fun overall. I enjoy it, and I'm excited to see how it goes overall. The price point will definitely be a big point to me. But in this video, we're going to be talking about my pros and my cons overall, and then we'll go from there. And I think they're gonna have another playtest. They said in the letter, like when I was done, they said we're gonna have a playtest soon, and they're gonna have more people. So just look out for their Twitter. I would definitely follow their Twitter. Their Twitter's always posting things, gameplay and stuff like that. So just look out for that. So first, I love how easy and how easy it was to pick up and play. I did like 2 minutes in the shoot around with Luka. I looked at all the characters and I did like 2 minutes around with the two minutes around in the shoot around with Luka, and it's pretty easy. Like squares to shoot, the right stick is to do your dribble moves, and then like L1 is like your modifier with dribble moves and dunks, or LB, and then like on offense, I think square was your steal, triangle was your jump, like to block, and like circle was a dive. So it was very easy to pick up once you got it. The things that were hard, it was the things that were like kind of like not easy, or like kind of like just a little bit weird off the jump when I was playing it, was the passing and just the rebounding. You just had to like understand how that worked specifically, and the defense specifically, which I'll get into a little bit later. But overall, it was very easy to pick up. I think it's in between NBA Street and NBA Jam. I don't think this is 100% a spiritual successor to NBA Street, because you don't spam dribble moves like you did in the old NBA Street games, and you don't like goaltend like you did in the old NBA Street games. It's very similar to NBA Jam. And overall, I personally like this switch. I think for a multiplayer game, you kind of couldn't have it similar to NBA Street, where you could just do all these spammy moves and stuff like that, and like make people fall and then shoot and then goaltend their shots. So I kind of get it, and I think it fits the format of multiplayer a little bit more than a spiritual successor that NBA Street would have felt if they like completely copied how NBA Street was. So don't expect like crazy dribbling moves. There's really only 4 dribbling moves. Personally, I don't care about it, but I've been seeing people complain about it. The thing that I do like about the dribbling moves is each character has individual dribble animations characterized towards them. So LaMelo's step back look very different than freaking Luka's step back. Same thing with freaking Curry's step back. The dribbles really just seem like they created space. They did have ankle breakers majority of the time with the modifier. You would get the ankle breakers, and the ankle breakers would create space, but they weren't like, I'm telling you, it's not like NBA Street where you dribble, you cross somebody over, and then you shoot the ball. You just basically create space, and then once you have enough space, you shoot. When you shoot, there is a release timing to it. Every character has their own release timing. I forgot to say that when I was talking about the shoot around. So you do have to find out their cadence when you play that character. So try them in the shoot around, see where the release is. If you release it at the perfect time, it's a green release. It's gonna be perfect every single time. Like, I mean, you're gonna make it every single time. Like, the ball lights up like on fire too when you do it. So like, if you see somebody on defense and the ball lights up, it's pretty much a good shot. Like, it's gonna be good. So it gives you like that like representation of like, oh yeah, you made it. So the controls, like I was saying, felt smooth. They felt very responsive. I clicked the button, it worked. It wasn't no lag, especially for an indie series. I think people don't know this either. This is made by people that I think 15 people in total. This is made by Indie Studio, and for how responsive it was and how smooth it was in the sense of the controls. And another thing that was super smooth was the connection. I was very shocked by this, and I really didn't even notice the connection until I watched a video of someone talking about how good the connection was, because like when you play the game, it feels like you're playing like just a regular solo mode with you know, like 2 other multiplayer players. Like in my head, because it doesn't even show the other players' names that you're going against, the opponents' names that you're going against. In my head, I knew that I was going against multiplayer other people, like in my head, but like when I was playing, it didn't feel like it at all. And I didn't have any connections. I didn't have any hits. When I shot, it never felt like, oh damn, that was the connection's fault. Like every single time I shot, it was my fault. So hopefully they can keep this to where it is, like in the sense of stabilized, because this is super good. I think that's probably one of the best parts about the game is how responsive and how quick it is. Even like, I don't know if you guys played Rematch, and I enjoyed Rematch a lot. It definitely filled this arcadey like sports simulation type of feel for me. Even Rematch, I would say, had a lot of connection issues where I don't even think this game had any connection issues near to close to Rematch. So I'm very impressed about how the internet does on this game. So hopefully they can keep that when they add more people to the server and it's all fluttered with people. Like I was saying before, there is it's arcadey, but it also has the skill expressions. The dribbling specifically seemed like there was a lot of skill expressions. At the beginning, I really wasn't really good with the dribbling. Like I would constantly like lose the ball when I was playing LaMelo and I hit a setback, and I started to find out that if you use speed, if you lose all your speed and then do a dribble move, like a fancy dribble move, you'll fall. So once I figured that out, I started to get better. And then like once I started to get a lot better at it, it was able to create space and be a lot better at dribbling in general. But like I said, I've said this multiple times, it's not NBA Street. I wasn't over here dribbling and crossing up everybody. I just was dribbling, making space for myself, shooting, or like passing the ball. So yeah, the dribbling move, I personally liked it. And the whole fact that it's not like NBA Street, where in NBA Street, I think the shooting worked how if you were basically open, or if you had a person with a crazy stat, as long as you like shot the ball with no type of coverage or like medium coverage, you pretty much was gonna make it in NBA Street. Like you didn't have to like hold the shot at a perfect time. There was no type of thing like that. So I do like that they do that in this game. A key example, like to like show you what I mean again in this game compared to NBA Street. So like I was saying in NBA Street, if you were wide open and you had like a number and you had like a 3-point shooter that was super good, like let's say Ray Allen back in the day, Ray Allen was a good 3-point shooter and he was wide open. In NBA Street, he's gonna make that shot no matter what. If you release it early, release it late, he's more than likely gonna make that shot. I don't even think there was like a timing thing to it. I just think that you had opportunities to release it early or release it late, but he's gonna probably more than likely make that shot. In this game, I was playing LaMelo and I didn't understand his shot for like the first couple games when I first started playing him, and I was like wide open for a couple shots and I missed wide open shots because I didn't understand his release. So yeah, you do need to understand the release, and I do like that a lot. I like that this game is arcadey but also has like skill expression, so people can also master this game. It's not just something that's you're gonna pick up, play for 3 hours and you're gonna feel like, oh my god, I figured everything out with this game. After the 3 hours I played, I didn't feel like I figured out everything. I feel like there was a lot more stuff I could have done, and there was a lot more, like especially on defense with the blocks. I didn't even really get into like the specialized blocks when I was playing. Overall, so let me get into the game modes, because that's another point that I like. The game mode that we played was basically tournament based, and how it worked was there was a quarterfinals, semifinals, and then I think a finals. So I think there was 3 games in total. I'm pretty positive, three or 4 games in total. I can't remember. But you each game was 3-on-3, so you control the player and you play with 2 other people online. You could be the same character, so there could be 3 Wimbies, there could be 3 Shays, all that type of stuff. So you guys all get on the court, and each game is a different type of game mode, and it's not like we're gonna do a 3-point shootout or anything like that. It's just like it's 3-on-3 basketball still, but like the rules change. So one game mode might be it's threes. It's called like triple threat, I think it's called. Yeah, that's exactly what it's called. It's called triple threat. So threes counts as 3, so how they normally do, and everything else counts as 1s. So basically you just want to shoot 3s. There's one where dunks counts as 3s and everything else counts as 1s. There's one where it's just a shot clock and whoever gets the most points wins, and then I think that's like 2s and 3s, so it's like a regular NBA game. So I really enjoyed the game modes. I hope they build on this. One of the game modes I was thinking, I hope if one of the devs is watching, that would be great. I think they should have a dunk contest, like maybe season 1, season 2, and a 3-point contest. I think a 3-point contest would be simpler and easier to make, so I think they should probably work on that first. And I think in this 3-point contest, what I was imagining for this game mode is kind of similar to like Tetris 100 and like F-Zero 100. Like you and 32 players all shoot at the same time, and then at the end of each round they like show you the scoreboard, and they cut off like 5 people each round, and then whoever's left each round, you know, you guys go at it head to head, and whoever's the last one wins the shoot tournament. And I was thinking that either they can make a new shot mechanic for this game mode, or they can keep the same shot mechanics in this game mode from the regular game mode, so you can actually learn to play your shots. So it's another practice mode. It's also another quick and fast game mode in my head. I think the 3-point shootout would be a lot easier than the dunk contest, because I would want the dunk contest to have a lot more like deeper systems in them. So I personally think that they should do something like a 3-point contest right away. I did hear that they're going to do a solo mode, because there's NBA Legends. I mean, there's not NBA Legends. There's Street Legends in this game. So I'm excited to see what that's in store for. I love the parks. Big fan of the parks. All the parks look super dope. I didn't talk to you guys about the visuals. The visuals in this game, I think Twitter videos, I think YouTube videos don't do this game justice at all. I think the visuals in this game is really good when you see it on your screen. The parks is like a very strong part to me. All the realistic parks, all the parks that they like took from the real world, like Rucker, Venice Beach. They had one in China that was super dope. I loved. But I love the park. The overall looks. I love how the characters look. They did really good on the facial structures. The way that they animated everything, they do really good. LeBron James does his signature dunk every single time he dunks. I like how Ant runs. If you're an NBA fan like me, if you look at Ant, he runs the exact same way he runs in real life. Like Ant runs a very particular way, if you know what I'm talking about. Like he runs with his hands wide, and he runs exactly like that in this. So I really do like how like they got their look and their feel into it. Like I was saying about the game mode, the games were quick. Never felt like I was in the game forever. Like even when, you know, sometimes, especially when you're playing solo, because that's what I was doing this one time. You know, you'll get into a game and people will ball hog, and it's like, God dang, man, I can't wait to get out of this game so I can get a new group of people and play. It never felt like I was in there for like forever. It was like hostage to these people. Like we were in here for a little bit, and then we're gonna move on to the next game. Like I was talking about with the Legends, I'm a big fan of the Legends. I didn't get to play any of them because you had to be like level 5 to unlock one of them. I saw some dude who had like one, and it wasn't even the level 5 rank Legend, so somebody was able to play them. But the Legends, what you need to keep in mind is that they have huge positives. They're like super good at certain things. Like I think they have 3 legendary stats, because there's like legendary stats, and some of the NBA players have that. And I'm gonna get into stats a little bit later in my cons, because I think the stats are so stupid in this game. It's probably one of my biggest gripes about this game. But overall, the Legends were cool because they had like huge stats in some areas, and then in the other areas they were kind of weak in. So I was like, oh, like I might not like, you only had access to one Legend. Elgato, I think, was the only one that you had, and it was a big man. So I wasn't playing a lot of big man. I was playing a lot of small forwards, LeBron, pretty much forwards. That's all I played. Like maybe 2 guards I played. But like overall, I really do like the Legends, and I'm excited to see what they do in story mode. I don't know if there's going to be a created character. I'm highly doubt there is. If there is, it's going to probably be a story mode thing only. If they do make it where you can bring them into the actual like online, that would be cool. I don't think there's gonna be any microtransactions or anything like that, so don't worry about no VC or anything. But yeah, those are my pros overall. Okay, let's get into some of the cons. First off, they need more camera options. Personally, I didn't mind the default camera when it comes to like dribbling up and down the court and stuff like that. It did suck when like if you were on the floor, because I didn't say this, but like if you get dunked on in this game, or if you try to shove, because there's a shove mechanic in this game, you enter like this stun phase, and if you get stunned in like the backcourt, like let's say if you get dunked on, you get laid on the floor, and then the other team runs the ball all the way down the court, it completely messes up the camera. Like it's trying to follow the ball, but at the same time keep you in the frame. It's very similar to like the Lego games, if you remember those, like when you would play co-op. And personally, I think that if they maybe had like a personal camera, I think a personal camera would be actually cool for this game. Like the O2K, like my player camera would actually be cool for this game. Maybe make it a little bit wider. Or if they had the 2K camera itself, I think that would be perfect for this game. besides those two camera, I think they should add even more camera options. I think camera options is something that they should focus on, in a sense of a quality of life thing. I think that the camera is cool, it's serviceable, but it's not, there's, especially when it comes to rebounding, it's hard sometimes to know where you are. The thing that I didn't really enjoy, I don't like how everyone can steal. And what I mean by everyone, now I didn't notice at the time when I was doing this, but Luka was able to steal a bunch of people. And if you've ever watched basketball, that ain't Luka. So Luka was able to steal a bunch of people. And at the time, I just thought, oh, you know, maybe they just made it where, like, if you time it right and if you jump right, you know, like, same thing. I was able to block people too. I forgot to say that too. So I was able to block, play pretty good defense with Luka. And I was like, maybe, you know, rewards people who just, you know, can do the timing right with blocking and stealing. And then I ended up looking at Luka's stats, and his stats were super crazy. Like, I think he had a 4 defense, and I think he had like a 3 or 2 steal or something like that, something crazy like that. I don't understand how that you could do that for Luka. Another thing, talking about the whole stealing, let's go further into the defense. I didn't really care for the fact of like that, like for you to keep the ball with these people that can steal the ball, like these characters that have high stealing stats, you have to protect the ball. Like you have to hold L2 or left trigger and protect the ball, dribble the ball court. Like that was the only way you could dribble the ball court. If these people, if someone who's really good at steals was able to time it right. And that was super annoying. It felt like the ball was loose at all times. It felt like at any point you could just lose the ball, and that wasn't just with the big guys. That's what I was playing Luka and I was losing the ball. I was playing like LaMelo and I was losing the ball. So it's with the guards as well. It's not just like the big guys. I think that they should maybe have a system. Another thing that I didn't like about it too, about the shoving mechanic specifically, with Curry, I was able to shove like a lot of big people, like Wemby, like Giannis. I don't think Curry should be able to do that. I don't think like any little guard should be able to shove a center. I don't think that should be like in the forte at all. So I think that they need to kind of work on the defense a little bit, because like I'm saying, the stealing and the pushing mechanic to me personally didn't feel like. I like the fact that like if you overcommitted, like if you try to reach and you got past and someone got past you, it did take you a while to get it. Same thing with like pushing, it did take you a while to get back on defense, but like the risk was so like so favored on the defensive side for you to get the steal that it was no reason not for you to try to spam a steal. You wouldn't push because the push puts you out of like a lot of reach to get back in the defense if you missed it, but the steal you can spam it a good amount and you'll be all right. So overall, I think they need to work on that a lot better. Another thing with defense is they need to put in like a cursor or like some type of indicator to show who you're guarding and show your other teammates who you're guarding, because when you're on defense, it doesn't indicate to you like you should guard this man or anything like that. So for me, I'm pretty good at basketball. I mean, I'm pretty good at basketball knowledge in the sense of I know how basketball works. So I was picking up picking up the ball sometimes, and then my teammates would pick up the ball with me, and it's like, no, go pick up the other two men. And I think like some people don't understand fundamentals of sports, so like these indicators would help them. I think they need to have an indicator of who you should guard, and then like even if they want to have that indicator where it can switch and stuff like that, that'd be cool. I think that'd be a plus. But I just think that whoever you hold like left trigger to, it should have like it should have like an arrow pointing to this person, so like it's easier for you to follow them and easier to know like where they are. Like I said with the camera, that sometimes you can get yourself lost on defense or on offense in general. I was getting lost sometimes where I couldn't find myself. So if they can work on that, personally, I think that would definitely fix the game. It fix the little issues I had with the camera and the defense itself. Passing was too floaty. It didn't feel quick at all. It felt like sometimes the ball would just go random places. I know sometimes it made sense. Sometimes if you threw a pass when someone's going up for an alley-oop, it would still throw it to the ground, which makes sense because like it's a timing thing at that point. I personally, I think it would go a little bit more in the air, but I get that like if that's what the if that's what the animation is, if it goes to the ground, that's what it is. But other times, like I was playing Luca, and Luca has a legendary pass stat, and that does, and I was throwing the ball like away easily. Like it wasn't like someone was jumping. I was just trying to throw the ball court, and it was just floating. It wasn't going to the person. Sometimes you'll throw the ball, and the ball won't even hover to the person, or it won't even go to the person. It'll just randomly go where they were. It won't even go to where they are. So I think they should fix the passing, even if it is that you have to like at a certain point they have to force stop your character to like catch the ball. I would like that more than what the incidents I had, because it was so annoying when like someone would throw you the ball and like you were wide open, but it would like fall. I mean, like it would go completely the other way, and it never ever seemed like it was like someone tipping it. It never seemed like someone threw a bad pass. It was just like sometimes it would just go completely wild. So they need to tighten up the passing for me personally. I think that people who have high pass statting should pass the ball faster. I think that the floating passing isn't necessarily bad per se, but if you reward players with higher stats and make the pass zippier for them, I think that would actually be better mechanic for the game. I don't think they necessarily need to like retread the wheel with the passing. I just think that they need to make it more swifter and quicker with some people that have higher passing stats. So I think that would actually work a lot better. Like I was saying before about the player ratings, they made no freaking sense. A lot of the young players like Wemby and Shea, and when I say Wemby and Shea, I'm not saying that they're not stars of their own. They are definitely young stars right now. Shea more of a actual like probably in his prime more than Wemby, but Wemby had a gold block, which Wemby is probably one of the premier league blockers in his 4th year, 5th year, whatever year he is in. Understandable. So I get that, but like LeBron had no gold stats. Jason Tatum had no gold stats. I looked at Jaylen Brown, he had no gold stats. I think another person that shocked me that didn't have any gold stats was Giannis. I don't get how Giannis doesn't have a rebounding or a block stat, even dunks for Giannis maybe. I saw things that didn't make sense to me, like Giannis's speed was super high. I think Luka had a high speed. Both of those players, sure, like Giannis is very athletic, but I wouldn't call him one of the fastest players in the league. Especially because they have like Tyrese Maxey in this game. If we're gonna show off of the scales, like Tyrese Maxey is 10 times faster than Giannis. So I think they need to personally fix those stats things, and I think they need to like, I don't get how like this is what I think they were trying to do, because I saw their younger versions, like younger LeBron and younger Steph. Regular Steph has a gold 3, but younger LeBron and younger Steph have different gold stats. They have 2 of them. So I think they were just like, oh, we gave their younger version stats, so that shouldn't matter. So it shouldn't matter. But I still don't think it makes any sense to me that like players like Wemby, there was another player that really shocked me. You couldn't play as in the game, but Donovan Mitchell had gold speed. And don't get me wrong, Donovan Mitchell is one of the faster one of the faster players in the NBA. But it's just so weird that Donovan Mitchell, not LeBron, not Giannis, not Tatum, and not Jaylen Brown didn't have any gold things. Like those 4 players are what you would say in their primes and are the premier players. Like they're legendary Hall of Fame players. They deserve to have legendary stats. All the NBA players had pretty good stats. It just shocked me that they didn't have legendary stats. That was very shocking to me. Like I was saying, the young players seem to have legendary ratings, but the prime players didn't. But overall, that's something they can tweak and something they can mess with. Other than that, I don't have any other like cons. My cons are very short because I only played it for 3 hours, and honestly I think that this game is going to be good. I think if this game launches at a very good price, I think if this game is at $50-$60, that's too much. 40 to 30 is like the sweet spot for this game, and I think that if they sell it at that price, it's 100% worth their money. If it's at $60 or $50, I would tell you to wait for it on a sale unless you really want it. And overall, I think this game is going to be one of those games that if they keep updating it and maintaining it, one of those games that like, sure, off the jump it might sell hot and like, you know, like people might fall off to it, and then they might release like a couple updates and people might come back to it, because I do think this game has a lot of like good bone on the meat. So I'm excited to see where this goes. Hopefully it sells pretty good so they can either make a second one or they can keep supporting it to the point where like they can have like a big update. So yeah, I definitely highly suggest that you guys look on their Twitter. Like I was saying, that's all I did. I just looked on their Twitter and they were like, we're gonna have a playtest. Look on their Twitter, and whenever they have a playtest, try it for yourself, and see if you like it. I highly suggest trying it before even like dogging it. Before I played this game, I watched the trailers. I thought the trailers were mixed bag, especially because I have high hopes because I really did like NBA Street. But after playing it, I'm very excited to play this game. So hopefully you guys check it out, and thank you for checking out my video, and you guys have a great day.